Good evening, PS Liban, DG Kiptor, the industry leaders here, our business partners, the CEOs of the oil marketing companies, and the Nation Media Group. Good evening. Hey, there's no energy in the room. What's happening? I know I don't have the privilege because I am the last speaker, and I can see the energy is going down, but good evening. Good evening. I think we are in an energy sector, so we should be. Yeah, all right. So my name is Grace Njoroge, and I stand here to represent my CEO or MD, Mr. Joe Sang from Kenya Pipeline. I'm very privileged to talk about how Kenya Pipeline has put in place infrastructure, both in terms of storage and pipeline, to ease shipment of petroleum products in the country. I will briefly, I'll make this very brief. So I'll basically just do a company overview so that we can all understand who Kenya Pipeline is. I'm certain most of us in the industry do know, but I know we also have some students in the room, and it's important for them to be aware of who Kenya Pipeline is. I'll also talk about the storage that we have in place and also the pipelines that we have in place. And then I will talk about the enhanced evacuation plans and, of course, the infrastructural projects that we have planned as we contain the growing demand in the market and in the region. So Kenya Pipeline Company is 100% owned by the government. We are now almost 52 years. We were incorporated on 15th of September, 1973. And we commenced our commercial operations in February 1978. So our mandate is to transport, store, and handle petroleum products, refined petroleum products, on behalf of the oil marketing companies. And as you heard from our DG, we have about 147 oil marketing companies who basically are our business partners. So we transport petroleum products on their behalf. Now we serve several markets. We don't only serve Kenya, but we serve the entire Great Lakes region. We serve Uganda. 99% of Uganda needs are met from this corridor. We also serve Eastern DRC, 65% there. We serve South Sudan. We serve Rwanda, Burundi, and also other markets like Somali. When I talk about that percentage you see right there, it's to mean that these markets, the land-linked markets, can also be served from Tanzania or from the Central Corridor. But given what we have put in place in terms of the pipeline capacity, storage, in terms of operational flexibility, we ensure that we are more competitive on this Northern Corridor transit route so that then we can attract this market to get their products from this corridor. As you can see, we have a pipeline network that consists of pipelines loop of about 1,342 running from the port of Mombasa through Nairobi all the way to the Western Kenya depots, and that is Nakuru, Eldoret, and Kisumu, where we are able to then have the truck loading facilities, all the depots, where we are able to now serve customers for their local needs and also the regional needs. So we also have the airport hydrant systems at JKIA and Moi International Airport. I want to talk about the installed capacities of the pipeline. You may all be aware that our first pipeline, which was put in place or constructed in 1978, was retired in 2020 as it had outlived its economic life, basically of 30 years, and it was no longer safe to operate. Now, after retiring this line, we replaced it with the Mombasa-Nairobi pipeline, which is called Line 5 in 2018. And this line can actually flow at a maximum flow rate of 1,300 cubics per hour. We also have line 2 and line 3, which were done in 1994, and those are the distances. The flow rates are also indicated there, 220 for line 2 and 110 for line 3. We have line 4 and line 6. Line 4 coming in 2011, that is the Nairobi Eldoret pipeline, and that pipeline can do a maximum flow rate of about 350 cubic per hour. Then we have the Sinendet Kisumu pipeline, which was constructed in 2016, and it's a 121 kilometer in terms of the distance. In terms of diameter, it's a 10 diameter inch, and it can do about 290 cubic per hour. This is to mean that the pipelines that we have and the storage that we have is sufficient in terms of containing all the products that are coming for the region. Now, I'd like to bring your attention to the storage, the active storage that we have across KPC network. And I think the point here is to say that given our mandate is to store and transport petroleum product, then we are very keen every year on ensuring that we meet the growing demand. We understand that the growing demand, the region is growing, and so we have to continuously assess what is that demand. And then as we assess end to end what is that demand, then we have to put in place infrastructure to ensure that we can be able to serve that demand. And currently we have more than sufficient capacity to not only handle the markets I've spoken about, that being Uganda, the land-linked market, but we are looking into new frontiers because of the new capacity that we have. For instance, back in the day, about 5-6 years ago, we're only talking about 800,000 cubes of capacity. But you can see we have grown. Now we are talking about 1.1 billion liters of capacity in Kenya to handle the products that you're talking about. And recently, towards this, we were able to add, or we recently did an additional storage at Kisumu. At Kisumu Depot, we did the 10,000 of AGO, that is of diesel. Then we also have 110,000 cubes capacity of KPRL Portrees tanks that we rehabilitated and converted from crude oil services to AGO. The point there is to say that with acquisition of KPRL, and as you all may be aware, we acquired KPRL. So this has enhanced our storage capacity, and we can be able to contain any kind of shipment. So if you look at just Mombasa alone, that is COSIF and KPRL, we are talking about a total capacity of 710,000 cubic meter, or 710 million liters. Now, this provides almost a 27-day cover for imports. That's just on the import side. So on imports, we are covered. We are covered in terms of we can contain all the vessels that are coming in. So what we are working on now is evacuation. But on the import side, we are covered. As a matter of fact, because now we have excess capacity at KPRL, we are looking into the new frontiers, and we want to see how we can serve the eastern seaboard markets. These are markets along the Indian Ocean, because we can do we can do bunkering, we can do transshipment, and we can do backloading to serve markets that are alongside the Indian Ocean. Now, with the excess capacity that we have at KPRL, we need to make KPRL a trading hub, such that since we are net importers of refined petroleum products, we have our oil marketers bringing their petroleum products. It is stored at KPRL, and then we see how we can land that product in the eastern seaboard countries at a cost-effective means. And I think this is a conversation that we have begun. Our CEO, Mr. Jo Sang, has been very keen on this end, and we have been exploring exactly how do we optimize the excess capacity that we have, and we've started discussing with the stakeholders in Mauritius and along, Mauritius, Comoros, Zanzibar, so that we can see how do we then, turn around those tanks. And in essence, of course, what does that mean for us? So as Kenya, it means as oil marketers, you have an opportunity to grow your business together with us. Of course, on the government level, we are also looking at how the government can help us in terms of making it easy, in terms of ease of doing business on that end of transshipment, bunkering, and backloading initiatives. Now, in terms of receipt of products, we all know that in August 2022, KPA commissioned the jetty, that is Kipevu Oil Terminal, and this is an offshore island jetty with 4 berths, with 3 berths equipped with marine loading arms, and the 4th berth to be equipped in the future. The discharge flow rate, as indicated there, are 4 to 4.5 million per hour, which is basically more than double what used to be there in KOT2. That means now we can handle larger vessels of about 120,000 deadweight. And that means also that then we can be able to meet the regional demand. In this year alone, we are about to do a throughput or a volume of about 10 billion liters. So this is where we are going. And so we have been able to do that through the system that we have. So it's important to note that. I think I've spoken about KPRL. The fact that the integration of KPRL storage tanks into KPC supply chain has significantly enhanced the country's capacity to handle high imports. So that means whatever vessel comes through, we are able to contain that at the importation stage. These just KPRL facilities where we have been able to continuously convert what used to be crude. I've talked about the 100,000 that came on board the other day, and you can see the available storage now is about 384. We still have extra capacity, which we can be able to rehabilitate and use it for either refined petroleum products or whichever product is on demand. In terms of one of the tankage that we recently converted, which has given us an additional 110,000, and of course improved the vessel turnaround time. And this is an opportunity for all of us to enhance our business. I think I spoke about the additional tankage that we have in Kisumu, which was completed recently in March, and that's it. So, as we enhance the containment of the product, we also need to enhance evacuation of it. And we realized that that is one of the places where at times we may be ailing. So we came up with a plan of a pipeline called PICEP, where we also involved the industry so that we assessed end to end what is the likely demand up to whichever year, and how can we continue to enhance our evacuation so that we meet this demand. So in line with that plan of pipeline enhancement, we have upgraded our line 4 flow rate, the flow rate from 350 cubic per hour to 510. This was done in September 2024, but it was commissioned recently in February 2025. You can see there. So the next phase is just about to begin, and it is also going to increase the flow rates as well, so that then we are able to move the product from Mombasa, where we have a lot of capacity, to Nairobi, and now to Western Kenya, where it is much needed. Because it's from the Western Kenya depots that we are able to serve all our customers. Now, I want to speak about Kisumu Oil Jetty, which also comes in to enhance evacuation. Now, Kisumu Oil Jetty is a state-of-art marine loading facility which is located in Kisumu. And this KOJ was commissioned operationalized in 2022. Now, this jetty is designed to support efficient and high-capacity fuel transfer across the lake to Uganda. So we completed this project in 2018, but we had to wait for the complementary receipt facility on the other end in Mahadi to be commissioned. So today, we are able to load about 2 barges from that end. One barge is about 4,500 cube, or 4.5 million. I'm sorry, we talk in cubes, we don't talk in liters. So sometimes it can be. So 4.5 million liters. So we are able to handle that much using one barge. So one barge is able to contain that much, and we have about 2 of them. So of course what this has done, it has removed a lot of trucks from the road. So our roads are no longer degraded. For instance, and you will see, after the it was operationalized in December 2022, we have been able to do about 143 voyages. And this has basically means that we have delivered about 458,000 cubes, meaning we have removed from the roads 13,000 trucks. So 13,000 trucks would have made that trip, degraded the road, but now all that is being done using the waterway. And so KPC is not only committed in ensuring that we just take care of storage and pipeline, but we also want to make sure that we help the region in terms of landing that volume there at a cost-effective way. Of course, using the barge, it is more competitive in terms of pricing, and so we have managed to deliver that 458,000 cubes. MIUL is a company that is in Uganda. The one that is used, it's called Mahadi Infra Uganda Limited. So they have a receiving storage facility of about 70 million liters. So they are able to receive from the lake. So once the vessels flow to the facility, they're able to receive and offload for that market. Very soon, they will also be handling that for transit to other markets. So they'll also be doing it for DRC, Rwanda, and the rest of the forward markets. We are also putting in place a bottom loading facility in our Nairobi terminal, so that we can ease evacuation for the oil marketers that are basically linked to our system in Nairobi terminal. So the bottom loading facility is expected to come in around August, and basically this is something that the oil marketers have been waiting for, and so we look forward to it being completed. Now, other things that we have used to enhance the truck turnaround is that we have improved efficiencies in our loading depots. One is that we have ensured, we used to have the top loading only, so we've ensured now we have bottom loading facilities at a good technology that ensures fast turnaround of trucks within the depot. It is obviously safer than the top loading, and of course with this, we have seen an improvement in terms of the turnaround of trucks in the depot, which obviously goes a long way in terms of enhancing evacuation of products for both Kenya and the regional markets. We also have improved in terms of systems. We are deploying systems on a day-to-day basis. In May 2021, we deployed what is called an order processing system, online order processing, which reduced the processes from 14 to 4 processes. And that means that with all factors constant, we can get you out of the depot within an hour. With all factors constant, we continue improving these systems. And recently also we did an integration with our revenue agency, KRA. It is still ongoing as we speak right now. And at the end of it, in its full fruition, we are going to experience enhanced loading process. And obviously, we are going to enhance the truck turnaround further. So these are some of the initiatives that we have done so that we are able to enhance efficiencies at the depot. Now, I know we are all interested in what we need to do so that we can further enhance evacuation in our Western Kenya depots. And so as you can see, and in line with the plan that I spoke about, we are in the process of putting up an AGO tank in Kisumu, which is about 20,000 cubes. We are also putting up an MSP tank in Eldoret. We are converting some of the IK tanks that we have to diesel in Nakuru. And we are also converting the MSP tank at Eldoret to AGO. We also are doing some modifications of the pipe so that we are able to receive MSP to the same series tank for line 2 and 4 for those in the industry. And maybe also one of the key projects that will be coming up is Eastern Line flow capacity enhancement. We realize that when we put in the pipeline, for instance, we put 2018 is when we constructed the line from Mombasa to Nairobi. Every pipeline has its economic lifetime. So we are planning on how to enhance that flow capacity and augment the line 5 throughput. In terms of the regional expansion, I know my seniors may have spoken from the ministry on construction of Eldoret, Uganda, Kampala pipeline. And this is at the revalidation of the feasibility study stage. So we will soon be seeing this coming into place or crystallizing. So as Kenya Pipeline, we continue to enhance our infrastructure and capacity. We are glad that now at the import stage, we can be able to contain any kind of shipment that comes through. And as we continue working on our evacuation, we want to thank our partners, our stakeholders, and of course the ministry for the support they have granted unto us. Ours is to enhance capacity so that we continue to supply the Great Lakes region in a very cost-effective manner. Thank you.